What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Darian, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I'm back with another video on the channel. If you love fragrances and fashion, I think you found the right channel. So go ahead and click the subscribe button and take another second if you don't mind, and make sure you click the bell icon as well to ensure you get notified when I upload new content on the channel. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at my Bond No. 9 collection. This is a crazy collection. I think it is the one fragrance house in my entire collection that I have the most bottles. I have a total of 22 fragrances in my Bond No. 9 collection right now. And honestly, you know, I'm not really finished collecting from this fragrance brand. There are several others that, you know, I do want that I haven't had a chance to get my hands on yet. One I had and got rid of. I don't know why. Bondnumber9.com. I need that back. I have a love-hate relationship with Wall Street. I had it and sold it. I may want to get that back in the collection. Coney Island, Governor's Island, Liberty Island. So all the islands are three other fragrances that I know that I do want to get in the collection. But I have had a chance to smell quite a bit of the fragrances and offerings from this house. And all 22 of the Bond No. 9 fragrances that I do have in my collection are fragrances that, for the most part, I really enjoy. Now, I kind of have them in order in which I actually like these fragrances. So I don't want to take up too much time because this could get very lengthy. I'm just going to show you the bottles, give you my quick impression of what each one is, and then we'll kind of go from there. But just a quick little background on this company, Bond No. 9, one of the first fragrance houses to really be started or headed by a female, Miss Laurice. I will not try to pronounce her last name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but her name is Laurice, and all these fragrances from Bond No. 9 were made to kind of evoke or represent certain aspects of the city of New York. So you have like Bleecker Street, you have off Broadway, Tribeca, Fide, which is the financial district in New York. So again, all of them were made to kind of, you know, pay homage to a certain area or neighborhood or something like that in the city of New York. So that is really cool. All the bottles have the same design, overall design, but we'll get into that kind of stuff. But again, it's a fragrance house that I really enjoy. Some people don't like Bond No. 9, but to each his own. It's a fragrance house that I really appreciate, and is one that I love. So I'm going to be telling you guys quickly about the 22 fragrances that I have in my collection from the house of Bond No. 9. And I kind of have them in order in which I like them. So this will be fun. If you want to see what my Bond No. 9 collection consists of, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Now, the first fragrance that I have that I want to talk about from this house, it is the only bottle that I have that's in the 50 ml size. The other ones are 100 ml bottles. I like for all my bottles to be the same size, but I had this one in the 50 ml, and I didn't really feel a need to get another one because honestly, it is my least favorite of all the ones that I have. You probably already know what I'm talking about, and it comes in an orange bottle, which is this one right here, and it's called Little Italy. It's called Little Italy. Now, I had a sample of this back in the day, and when I did have the sample, I thought it was a neat fragrance. It's a very zesty citrus fragrance, but really it just smells like kind of a zesty orange fragrance. It has mandarin orange in it, grapefruit and clementine, but really you just kind of get a slightly zesty kind of orange note from the fragrance. So it's not anything that really I feel like will draw somebody to want to really buy this particular fragrance because it's kind of plain and linear, to be honest with you. But again, it's one that I kind of use for layering purposes. So if you have another fragrance from this house that you want to kind of brighten up and give a zesty citrus kick to, this is one that I think is good for layering. Not much of a fragrance for me to wear just by itself, but again, for layering purposes, I think it's one that you definitely may want to take a look at. But the only 50 ml bottle in my collection is this one right here, the orange bottle, and it's called Little Italy. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one is the Scent of Peace for Her. Now, this is the Scent of Peace for Her. Of course, there is a Scent of Peace for him, but of course, again, this one is for her. Has a kind of similar note structure to the Scent of Peace for him, but the main differentiator is this is a lot more floral than its male counterpart. One of the primary notes here, you're gonna get some lily in this, grapefruit and blackcurrant. But again, it's a really, really nice scent. It is unisex, a guy can pull this off, but again, this one was made and marketed towards women. As you can see, we've knocked that bottle down pretty good, but it does smell absolutely amazing. So this is one, again, that I have in the collection of marketed towards women. Definitely unisex, but this is Centopeace for her. All right, guys, the next Bond number 9 fragrance in my collection is this one right here. And you rarely hear anybody talk about this one, but it's called Fide. But it stands for Financial District in New York. And this one is really a very spicy, but at the same time fruity fragrance. I think there's mandarin in this, there's apple. It has some black pepper and nutmeg, are the main notes to my nose, especially the nutmeg. Again, so it's a really, really spicy and peppery fragrance. Now it dries down, you get a nice musk in here with some vanilla to give it a little bit of sweetness. But to me, that's one of the main notes. It took me a while to figure out the main note in a lot of Bond number 9 fragrances, and it's that musk note. But I love this one right here. It's easy to wear. Check it out, and this one is called Fide. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one is one as well that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. I've never really heard anybody talk about it, to be honest with you, but I love it. It's more than just loving the bottle. I love the fragrance inside as well, and this one is called Park Avenue. Park Avenue. This is definitely one that falls into that unisex category. You see the bow tie on the front, but this one is really, really nice and fruity. You get a nice fruity opening. There's green apple in this and peach in the opening, and it dries down to a nice kind of ambery base with a little bit of musk. But again, one that I really, really enjoy. Again, we're gonna get into some of my more favorite Bonds in a little bit, but definitely one that I actually really, really like and enjoy. So check this one out, guys. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's a good one. This one is called Park Avenue. The next Bond number 9 fragrance in my collection, guys, this one is called the Hamptons. This is called the Hamptons, and again, just to really make this really easy and simple, this one smells a lot like Silver Mountain Water from Creed. So if you've never smelled this one before and you have smelled Silver Mountain Water, then that's a really good place to start in understanding what this one smells like, because it's really, really, really close. This one has a little bit more florals in it, but it does smell a lot like Silver Mountain Water. So check this one out from Bond number 9. This is called the Hamptons. The next fragrance up that I want to talk about, this one is called Soul New York. This is called Soul New York, and this one has a very powdery coffee, cacao kind of dry down, man. But this is a really, really nice one. Really, really nice fragrance right here from Bond number 9. And like I said, that's really what it's all about. It's really, really powdery, and you get the coffee and the cacao on the dry down. The cacao gives a really, really chocolatey vibe in this. So again, imagine chocolate, slightly powdery with the coffee. That's exactly what you get in this one. It's really, really simplistic, but it smells really, really nice. So check this one out, guys. This one is called Soul New York. All right, the next fragrance on the list, this is one that I really, really enjoy when it starts to cool down outside. And this one is called Bond number 9 Manhattan. This is called Manhattan, and this has that very, very infamous gingerbread note in this. So you get this nice, really warm kind of spiciness from this fragrance. I think saffron is in this. But again, the star player is that gingerbread. And man, this stuff wears really well on my skin in the fall and winter seasons. One of my go-tos from this particular house when it gets cold outside. One that I really, really enjoy. I like all the fragrances I have from Bond that are in my collection. I smell most of them. I smelled a lot of them. And these are ones that I really handpicked. That's some of my favorites. So check this one out, man. Again, this is called Manhattan. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this is one that has been discontinued. I think it was around 2011, and Bond number 9 created this collection of fragrances that were a tribute to New York. I think it was in reference to the 9/11 situation. And this one is called I Love New York for Him, in this beautiful blue bottle. And this one is just gorgeous, man. I think grapefruit is in the opening of this. But again, this is one that's really, really playful. It has this kind of this bubblegum kind of vibe to it, to me, but it's really, really masculine at the same time, because you get a nice heavy dose of musk when this thing dries down. Oh man, this is one that I really hope they would bring back. That whole collection, really, especially this one, and the one in the black bottle, I love New York for all. Although I think that Bond number 9, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it has the leopard kind of print, the red bottle with the leopard print on it. I think that is a fragrance that they made to kind of replace I Love New York for All, a nice coffee gourmand scent. But this is the other one from that collection that I really thought was really good. And I'm happy to have this bottle in my collection. This one is called I Love New York for Him. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, this one is called Sag Harbor. And man, this stuff is gorgeous on a nice spring day. The heart of this fragrance and opening is dominated by florals, a magnolia. There's some ivy leaves in here. But the dry down, you get a nice creamy sandalwood and a little bit of amber that comes into play. So this is an absolute beauty of a fragrance. Again, there's a little bit of oud in here as well, but nothing, the amber nor the oud makes this fragrance a fragrance that couldn't be worn when it's really, kind of warm outside. It's a perfect blend. I love the way it balances with the floral notes in this fragrance, man. So check this one out. This to me is one that's really slept on, man. Gets a lot of compliments too when I wear it. So this one is called Sag Harbor. All right, the next fragrance on the list, this one is really playful, easy to wear, kind of got a sexy vibe to it as well. This is called Sutton Place. This is called Sutton Place, and some of the main notes in this one I think is cassis, I think some pineapple and leather on the dry down, hence of course the leather look on the bottle. But again, this is one that I really love. This is one of the ones that I wear that's I can really wear doing anything with this. Is really versatile. Love this scent, man. Again, another one that gets a lot of compliments, man. So check this one out from Bond number 9. It's called Sutton Place. All right, the next fragrance that I want to talk about, this one is called Chez Bond. Chez Bond. And just like when I talked about the Hamptons, really quickly, I just want to say it with this one, it reminds me a lot of Green Irish Tweed from Creed. But just like the other fragrance that I mentioned when I talked about, the comparison between the Hamptons and Silver Mountain Water, this has a little bit more of a kind of floral touch to it, just comparing it to Green Irish Tweed from Creed. But I love it. If you like Green Irish Tweed, you'll love this one. Check this one out from Bond number 9. It's called Chez Bond. All right, guys, we're moving into my top 10 fragrances from Bond number 9. We've already covered, I think, 12 fragrances from the house. We're getting into my top 10. So these are my top 10 favorites in my entire collection. Coming in at the 10th spot on this list, this one is called Off Broadway. Off Broadway, and this is the latest release from the house of Bond number 9, and I just absolutely love this stuff, man. It's very reminiscent to New York Musk, which is a fragrance collection they did that just covered certain fragrance notes. But this one is different. They're not exactly the same, and I like this one better than New York Musk. This has a little bit more of a kind of fruity accord in the opening of this fragrance that I really like. This has black currant. It has musk, of course. There's some patchouli in this as well, and vetiver. But man, I absolutely love this scent. It's growing every day and moving up the ladder in my collection, man. Plus, of course, you guys know I love this bottle. So check this one out, man, if you get a chance to put your nose on it. This is called Off Broadway. All right, guys, coming in at the 9th spot, this is one of the sexiest Bond number 9 fragrances I have in my collection, and it's simply called Bond number 9 Signature Scent. Bond number 9 Signature Scent, and the note breakdown on this one is relatively simplistic. There's rose, oud, musk, and the star player here is that tonka bean. The tonka bean gives this a sweetness to it that really differentiates this particular fragrance from a lot of your typical rose oud combinations that you see a lot of times in fragrances. But man, this one is really highly slept on. This one has a lot of oil in it. The oil concentration in this fragrance is really high. It sticks around for a long time, and it's really sexy and sweet. So check it out. Again, I love this one. It's called Bond number 9 Signature Scent. All right, the next fragrance that I have, and this one comes in at the, I guess, 10, 9, at the 8th spot, and this one is called Eau de New York. Eau de New York, one of the best citrus aromatic fragrances that I have in my entire collection. This is very bright, zesty, and uplifting, and of course, you get a lot melange of citrus notes on the top of this fragrance. And just beautiful to wear in the summertime. One of my go-tos, one of my favorite summer fragrances in my entire collection. I love this stuff. If you like citruses, you need to put your nose on this one right here from bond number 9. And of course, there's also a very, very prominent note of neroli in this as well. So you get a nice citrus accord with neroli. Beautiful scent. Check it out from the house of bond number 9. This is Eau de New York. All right, the next fragrance, this is one of the later releases as well. It has that kind of leather look on the bottle, but it's gorgeous, man. This one is called Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village, and I've talked a lot about this one in various lists and things of that nature. I actually have a full review of this fragrance. I need to get around to reviewing some of these others as well. And this is a really, really nice, sweet fragrance right here. Vanilla, praline are the main notes in this right here. But again, it's really, really sweet. It's one that's going to get compliments and attention. Some people kind of compared this one to Baccarat Rouge 540, although again I didn't really get that comparison too much. It didn't really make as much sense. There is another fragrance on this list that is closer to Baccarat Rouge 540. We'll get to that in a moment. But again, one that I love, I guess this comes in at the 7th spot in my bond number 9 collection. Check this one out. It's called Greenwich Village. The next fragrance, and this is another one that's discontinued sadly, and hopefully one day they'll bring this one back. But this one is called New Harlem. This is bond number 9, New Harlem, and simply put, a lot of people have said it, this smells like breakfast. It smells like syrup and pancakes. It's really that simple. Again, if you want to, or if you like fragrances that are gourmand, which of course you know I love, if you like the smell of syrup and pancakes, then this is going to be the fragrance for you. It's such a gorgeous scent though. You know, and it's one that I love because I love gourmand. So that's why it's so high up on my list. I really wish they would bring this fragrance back. Bond number 9, if you're listening, bring back New Harlem. It's really hard to find it now, and when you do find it, a lot of times on discount, well, not on discounters, but on sites like eBay or somebody selling it, they're asking for over 400 bucks for it. So if you can find it, it's one that I highly recommend. This is called New Harlem. All right, the next one, and this is coming in at the 5th spot. This one is called Tribeca. This is called Tribeca, and this in this gorgeous white bottle. And when I talked a few moments about one that smells closer to Baccarat Rouge 540, I was talking about this one right here. You get the same vibe that you get from Baccarat Rouge 540, but it's definitely different. It does its own thing, and that's really because it has hazelnut and cacao, I think, in this fragrance, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a gorgeous scent, none the least. That's why it's in the 5th spot of these 22 bond number 9 fragrances. So one of the latest releases as well. This one came out right before Off Broadway. So check it out. It's in a gorgeous white bottle, and this one is called Tribeca. All right, guys, in the 4th spot, and I know you probably know what's coming up because you guys have not seen these fragrances yet, but in the 4th spot is this one right here with the bow tie. And this is called Scent of Peace for Him. Scent of Peace for Him. A lot of people say that this reminds them of Aventus, maybe 10-20%. There's a slight similarity to it because it does have that black currant in there, and I think that's really where the comparison is drawn. I do think there's some pineapple in this as well, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, when people see pineapple, you know the story, how that goes. But this one is definitely something that is different. It's very, very different from Aventus for me personally, but it's one that I really love. This is my most complimented bond number 9 fragrance. So definitely, guys, check this one out. This is a stunner of a fragrance. I think the Scent of Peace for Him and Her are the most popular bond number 9 fragrances, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, check this one out. It's the one with the bow tie from the house of bond number 9. This is called Scent of Peace for Him. This next bond number 9 fragrance definitely needs no introduction. My favorite bottle presentation, and this one is called Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street. For a while, this was my favorite bond number 9 fragrance, and of course, as you can see, it's still in the 3rd spot, so it's still very high on my list. But man, this stuff is just so good, man. It smells like freshly cut green grass. There's a very nice contrast of notes in this. You have your green notes, then you have some more gourmand elements in here like caramel and blueberry as this fragrance starts to dry down, making it just a very, very interesting fragrance, one that I absolutely adore. Again, I still love it. It's in my top 3, but there are 2 others that I acquired a little bit later in my journey that have moved ahead of this one. But again, one of my hearts still from the house right here, and this is Bleecker Street. Now coming in at the number 2 spot, you guys know this fragrance very well if you've been watching this channel for any length of time. This is called New York Oud. New York Oud. Out of the probably 8 or 9 fragrances that I have in my collection that gives you that rose oud combination, this is probably my second favorite of all. As it relates to the note of rose, probably behind Portrait of a Lady. But man, amazing scent. Again, if you love rose and oud, and I know that's not a combination for everybody, but it is a combination for me, and I absolutely adore this stuff. So that's why it's in the number 2 spot. Again, this is called New York Oud. All right, guys, and coming in at the number 1 spot, this is my new favorite Bond No. 9 scent. This one was made, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and marketed towards men, and it's called Bond No. 9 Lafayette Street. Bond No. 9 Lafayette Street. This is giving Scentofpeace for him a run for his money as it relates to my most complimented Bond No. 9 scent. Now, I reserve Scentofpeace as number 1 for right now because I've had it longer and it's proven itself over a longer period of time, but this is really, really close on its heels. And guys, this is just a really easy to wear fragrance. It's one that's easy to wear, it's mass appealing, and a lot of people just seem to be attracted to this scent when I wear it. Again, you guys, if you've not seen the video, this fragrance made my wife's eyes roll in the back of her head. It was so good. And I have to agree, man. Again, it's not anything overly complicated. It's not anything overly complex, but it's good and it works. And I love this scent, so that's why right now it's in my number 1 spot from Bond No. 9. Again, this one is called Lafayette Street. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video as I gave you a rundown of my insane 22 bottle Bond No. 9 fragrance collection. What are some of your favorite Bond No. 9 fragrances? As a matter of fact, what is your favorite Bond No. 9 scent? Please leave it down below. I would love to hear from you guys as it relates to which one of these fragrances from Bond No. 9 you find to be your favorite. As always, I appreciate your time and attention to these videos because, of course, man, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe, and go ahead and share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or, find me entertaining because I am your guy, Darian, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.